Welcome to Math with Professor V. It's been a little while since we tackled a messy trig sub integral, so I figured it was time. And today's problem is going to test your algebra and trig skills just as much as your calculus. So grab a pencil, pen, stylus, and let's work this through together step by step. And if you're looking for even more guided practice, my complete Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 courses are now available at professorvmath.com, along with the discounted Calculus 1 and 2 bundle. I'll talk more about it later, but let's just jump right in. So we have the indefinite integral of x squared over 3 plus 4x minus 4x squared raised to the 3/2 dx. So the reason why we have to do trig sub for this and not, say, partial fraction decomposition is because the denominator doesn't factor. And so we have to play around and figure out how we can complete the square. So what I did was I factored out the -4 that's in front of the x squared term. So 3 minus 4 times x squared, and then now I just have a minus x, right? So I have to figure out what constant to add to make a perfect square trinomial. So you take this coefficient, -1, the one on the linear term, cut it in half and square it. So it would be -1/2, and then square it, we're going to add a 1/4. Now we can't just like willy-nilly go adding 1/4 places. So we're going to have to undo what we just did in the same expression. So technically we took -4 times 1/4 and added it in. So I've added an extra -1. So to counteract that, we need to add +1. Okay, and then I can rewrite this as 4. Yes, the 3 and the 1 make 4. They sure do, Professor V. Minus 4 times, let's factor that guy now, it's x minus 1/2 quantity squared. Now the other thing I want you to notice is all of this is being raised to the 3/2 power. So I can simplify a little bit further because I can take 4 out from both the terms, and then I have 1 minus x to the 1/2 squared. And then all of this is to the 3/2. So basically in the integral, this is to the 3/2 and this is to the 3/2. So let's rewrite what we have so far. We're doing fabulously, but I told you it's already taxing on the algebra skills. We have 4 to the 3/2, and then 1 minus x minus 1/2 squared. All of that is to the 3/2. Don't forget the dx, otherwise -1 in my class. That's right. Okay, beautiful. From here, we can take 4 to the 3/2 outside. It's 1 over 4 to the 3/2. So just think you take the square root of 4, that's 2, raise it to the third. So you're going to have a 1/8 outside integral x squared over 1 minus x minus 1/2 squared to the 3/2 dx. Now hopefully this looks less scary and it's becoming apparent which trig sub to use. Remember, anytime you have constant squared minus variable quantity squared, you let x equal a sine theta. So in this case, a is just 1. That's not too bad. And instead of just x equaling a sine theta, I'm going to have x minus 1/2. That's my variable quantity, my expression there. So x minus 1/2 equals 1 sine theta. Differentiate both sides so we can figure out what our new differential is going to be. It'll be cosine theta d theta. So that's right. This dx becomes cosine theta d theta. And you might say, wait a minute, Professor V, but what about this x squared up top? Well, you're going to come here, rearrange, and isolate x. Oh, yes. So x by itself is equal to sine theta plus 1/2. And since I'm going to have to substitute in x squared in the numerator, let's just square this now. It'll be sine squared theta plus, no, not 1/4. Don't forget that middle term. You're squaring the entire quantity sine theta plus 1/2, yeah? So there's a sine theta in there as well. All right, beautiful. I think we're ready to rewrite the integral in terms of theta. So we've got this 1/8 hanging out. Our numerator is all of this. Okay, we got it. Sine squared theta plus sine theta plus 1/2. The denominator is now going to be 1 minus, well, what's x minus 1/2? It's sine theta. We got it. So this will be sine squared theta. Then this is all raised to the 3/2. And what's dx? Cosine theta d theta. Perfect. Okay. Why did I say 1/2? It should be 1/4. Have you been screaming at me for a while? Good. So sorry. So sorry. Okay. 1/4. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. Oh me, oh my. That was silly. Okay. So we've got here 1/8. Let me rewrite the numerator as is. And then notice here, the beauty of trig sub comes into play right now. We can use our Pythagorean identity. So 1 minus sine squared theta, that's cosine squared theta, right? And then see how it's being raised to the 3/2? So cosine squared theta, that's cosine theta squared. And then it's raised to the 3/2. You multiply those exponents. So you're going to get cosine cubed theta. But then we have this other cosine theta over here. So that'll cancel with one of the cosines there. And I'm just going to have now cosine squared theta in the denominator. And then only d theta out here. Okay, at this step, it's not bad. Let's just split the denominator under each of the terms in the numerator. So we've got 1/8. Sine squared over cosine squared is tangent squared theta. Sine theta over cosine squared theta. So I want you to think of it this way. I could leave it like that, but I'm going to have to integrate. So I know how to integrate tangent theta secant theta. Isn't that a better way to rewrite that expression? It sure is. So I'm going to write this as tangent theta secant theta plus, and then 1/4 over cosine squared theta, that's 1/4 secant squared theta. And that's perfect. We know the antiderivative of secant squared theta. Love it. So go through term by term. Boom. This is under control. This, we know your antiderivative. Oh no, what do we do with tangent squared theta? You replace it, very good, using your Pythagorean identities with secant squared theta minus 1. So then now let's see, we've got 1/4 secant squared theta plus 1 secant squared theta. So altogether, that's how many, guys? Yes, 5/4 secant squared theta plus tangent theta secant theta minus 1 d theta. Okay, we're ready to bring this integral on home. Here we go. So this is going to be 1/8. Integral of 5/4 secant squared theta is 5/4 tangent theta plus integral tan theta secant theta is secant theta minus theta, and then don't forget to put plus c. Okay, we're not done. Remember, our original integral was in terms of x, so we have to return to that variable. So it's triangle time. Remember how we let x minus 1/2 be sine theta? So that's the same as saying x minus 1/2 over 1 is sine theta. That's going to make for kind of a messy triangle. But if we clean this up, that's the same as saying 2x minus 1 over 2 is sine theta. So let me draw a triangle where that's true. Okay, the first time I went through with the fractions, but I was thinking you guys might. So sine theta is the ratio of the opposite side over the hypotenuse, and then let's figure out the missing side using the Pythagorean theorem. So that missing side is going to be the square root of 2 squared minus 2x minus 1 squared. So that's the square root of 4 minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. So what's that going to be? Square root of 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x. So right here, this is square root 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x. Okay, perfect. Now just reference the triangle. So we have 1/8 times 5 over 4. Tangent theta is going to be ratio of opposite over adjacent. So we're going to have 2x minus 1 over the square root of 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x plus secant theta, that's ratio of hypotenuse over adjacent. So 2 over square root 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x minus, and then what do you do about this plain old theta? What a little loser. No, it's fine. You just come back, whoa, you come back to where you made your substitution, and you say, oh, then theta is going to be arc sine or sine inverse of 2x minus 1 over 2 plus c. Good? Okay, then we just clean up a wee bit more. We sure can. So this is going to be 1/8 times. Now I want you to notice we can multiply 5 by 2x minus 1. So that's 10x minus 5 over 4 times the square root, 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x, plus 2 over square root, 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x, minus sine inverse, 2x minus 1 over 2, plus c. Oh, I can get common denominators pretty easily. Let's do it. Multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. So now this is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, we ought to combine those. Don't you agree? Yes, Professor V. So now we'll have 1/8 times 10x plus 3 over 4 times the square root of 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x minus sine inverse 2x minus 1 over 2 plus c. And I would distribute the 1/8 through. Why not? We didn't come this far to just come this far. So we have 10x plus 3 over 32 times the square root 3 minus 4x squared plus 4x minus 1/8 times sine inverse 2x minus 1 over 2 plus c. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Box that with pride. There you go. Happy pride. And I hope you enjoyed this integral of the day. It definitely was a doozy, right? Like, would I put it on my Calc 1 exam? No. But if you enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. Before you go, if you're looking for more calculus help, make sure to check out my website, professorvmath.com. Right now, my complete Calculus 1 course is available and Calculus 2, as well as the Calculus 1-2 bundle. Calculus 3 is coming very soon, hopefully in less than 2 weeks. And I'm also working on differential equations, linear algebra, pre-calc, and so much more. My goal is to create the kind of resources that students need to thoroughly understand the material and prepare for exams. Really, what you're going to love about my courses are the problem sets where I work through so many examples in detail, explaining exactly what's going on. And then even more beautiful are the unit reviews. There's sample exams. There's also study guides, very comprehensive with lots of examples. So many students have already seen results because they've said that they've seen questions on their exams very similar or identical to the questions on my study guides. And then I have sample exams that you can take and score yourself to see exactly where you're at and fill in any gaps. So if you'd like to continue learning with me outside of YouTube, head over to professorvmath.com and take a look. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'll be back sooner than later. Bye.